Welcome to Beaver Stadium, home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, one of the largest crowds in college football assembled here. This is not your normal matchup, a battle of top 5 teams, two forces colliding here near the end of the season. Cannot wait for this one. Big playoff implications. We'll see a team that's had a chance to rest from a bye week, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on the #1 team in the land, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined here in the booth by Kirk Street. Kirk, let's get to the action on the field. The Sooners will kick this away to start us off. He's going to return it from deep in the end zone. They tackle him at the 9. That's good coverage. He should level the ball in the end zone. Getting set up. It's a first down play. Handoff to the single back. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior.
Hey, it's a great job of this defense containing the running game. But if I'm calling the plays, I'm not abandoning the running game just yet. I think it's important to have some sense of balance. So throwing and running is essential. Stick with it.
Second down after that run on the previous play. And there's the handoff. Tackle made at the 24 as they begin to put a drive together.
What a nice job here by this offensive line in the back to pick up this first down. And, Chris, you know better than me growing up in this area. Penn State's offense and the ability to run the ball, probably been doing it as well as anybody in college football for decades, going back to guys like the late, great Franco Harris and Kajana Carter and Larry Johnson and Miles Sanders more recently, and, of course, Saquon Barkley. And this goes on of great Penn State running backs, and I'm sure they're proud to see him running the football the way he is today.
The Nittany Lions have 1st and 10 here. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. Extending the play now. Gets into space at the 50. They finally get him down, but that is a huge play. Quarterback doing it with his legs.
Man, nothing is more aggravating for a defensive coordinator than this right here. You've got him. You've got a chance to make a play on him, take him out of his rhythm, but instead, this guy gets away from that pressure, tucks it, and picks up some big yards.
Offense getting set up. Here's second down. Takes the toss and heads left. No shot to bring him down. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
Well, this is exactly what you want to see as an offense to open up a football game. Everything seems to be working, whether they're running the football, as we saw right there, able to protect, throw the football with timing and rhythm, everything on full display for this offense to let this defense know they could be in for a long day.
Looking for some space. It's Smith. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4. The Nittany Lions looking to crank up the tempo a bit. Handoff here from the shotgun. Stopped short of the marker after just a short gain.
That's just not a whole lot of options here for this quarterback on the RPO. The defense, give them credit. They did a nice job of sniffing it out. I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback is second-guessing that decision of giving it to the back instead of pulling that and either running it himself or maybe making a nice throw.
Fights off a defender. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. Solid debut for this offense.
Well, the script from the offensive coordinator works perfectly here to get this game started for this offense. Great job of mixing up a lot of different looks to get a read and a gauge of what this defense is up to today, and you're able to put 6 points up on the board. Great start.
And the kickoff goes out the side of the end zone, close to a penalty there, but it'll be a touchback. To make a difference today. And now the defense decides to spend a timeout to regroup a bit. First down play call. How aggressive will it be? The gain is 3 yards, so 2nd and 7.
Hey, listen, you don't always have to have big plays to be successful. It's a nice, solid gain here. Keeps you on schedule, and you get ready for that next play.
Here's the second down play. Looking to pass. It's Hawkins. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. They bring him down to the 45, and a solid gain to keep this drive going.
Chris, just a great throw here. Surgical and precise in doing what they need to do to be able to pick up that first down and keep this Oklahoma offense on the move.
It's a 1st and 10 play coming up for the offense. Takes the ball and heads to the left side. And he's tackled just short of the midfield line at the 49.
Nice job here of controlling the line of scrimmage by this offensive line. The back does what he needs to do to get positive yards on first down.
Empty set now. 5 wide receivers. They'll look to throw it here on second down. Looks like he's going to run it. Breaks loose at the 40. And they make the tackle, but that's a huge chunk play on the scramble. He saw an opening and just went for it.
Boy, this guy can do it all. We know what he can do with his arm, but when things aren't there, does a good job of pulling it down, knowing where the first down marker is, picking up the first down.
But they can't make the connection. Ball's incomplete. The Sooners hustle to the line to run the hurry-up.
I'm a big fan of the RPO, but it is a dangerous play for the quarterback. You got to make the right decision. On this play, it just seemed like he was a little hesitant, unsure, and it cost him here with an incompletion.
They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Hawkins. Quick throw to his receiver. Makes the grab. Can he get there? And a big gain before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs.
Well, this is why this guy's one of the top wide receivers in college football. It's 3rd down. The defense knows you're probably going to go to him, and they still can't stop him from coming down with a big play.
Looking to throw it on 1st down. Trying to create outside the pocket now. That one falls incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up 2nd down.
Chris, I thought he had his hands on that football. I thought he was going to come down with it. But give the defense all the credit with a big hit to knock that ball loose.
Coming to the line on 2nd down. This is important. They want to avoid a 3rd and long. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. The pickup is just 3 yards. Now it's 3rd down and 7. An important 3rd down conversion coming here in the red zone. Makes it across the goal line. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Here comes the point after attempt. And he knocks it right through. Now the kickoff team is out on the field. And he's going to bring this out from a couple yards deep in the end zone. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. And the Nittany Lions offense retakes the field. The last possession was just old school power football. Let's see if they can keep that going here. Second down after that run on the previous play. From the shotgun, drops back. Makes the grab. It's Brown. Runner scoots out of bounds after gaining decent yards.
Good job here to be able to get a foot down. That was awfully close to being out of bounds, but no, he's in.
Quarterback pre-snap adjustments now for this defense. Got to pick up the 3rd and short through the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Watkins. And the game just good enough for a first down. And the Nittany Lions will hustle to the line to crank the tempo.
Well, it's third down. The defense knows he's going to get the ball. You still can't stop the quarterback finding this receiver to be able to pick up another first down for this offense.
That's the end of the first quarter. Score time, 7-7.
Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. The pre-snap motion from the offense. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Pass is caught right near the sideline. What a catch, does get the foot down. A completion sets up a second down play.
Well, when you run that out route, it's going to end up very close to the sideline. Love his awareness to realize not only keep his eyes on the football, but where he is on the field. He gets his toe down before he goes out of bounds for the catch.
Got him for a sack. A big play made by one of the senior leaders of this defense.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
In the 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. The catch is made for a huge pickup. Touchdown, Penn State. Strong game by this quarterback.
That's what makes this guy so dangerous as a wide receiver. He can catch the ball underneath, shake and bake and go by you, or use his speed to get around you and make a big play like this for a touchdown.
Automatic on the PAT. Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away. So no return on this one. Ball just bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Okay, so here comes the Oklahoma offense back on the field. They punched it in the last possession. Can they do it again, or will this defense make some adjustment? And it's intercepted. Beautiful timing there. Short return tackle at the 21, but that's a huge takeaway for this defense.
Boy, just a drive killer right there, Chris. And he didn't seem to throw that ball with much confidence. Just put it up for grabs. The defense comes down with it.
Big guys up front, lined up. It's first down. Looking out throwing here to start the drive. Grab down the middle. It's Smith. Tackle at the 6-yard line after the completion. Offense really threatening now. The Nittany Lions will come to the line to crank up the tempo. There's some pre-snap movement. Back in motion. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. Defense stops him, but that's a solid gain. Second down and goal. They try the middle, but gain nothing on that play.
Well, the defensive line does their job eating up those double teams, freeing up the backers to make the play.
They get nothing on second down, sets up a 3rd and goal from the 2. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. This offense is still clicking. So it's still early, but this offense beginning to build momentum and build the lead now, Kurt.
As we've seen over the years, Chris, good teams know how to use the first quarter to establish the lead, the second quarter to increase the lead, and the final half just to hold on to it. They're following that blueprint perfectly, widening the distance between them and their opponent before we even get to the locker rooms. The Oklahoma offense is back on the field. Number
the last possession ended quickly. The interception on the first play. Let's see if they can do better here. And he's looking to make a big play downfield. It's intercepted. Tried to fire it into a tight window. And he's got some open field ahead. That's a pick and a long return before finally being taken down.
Chris, that's back-to-back drives now that this offense has thrown interceptions. They've got to be able to regroup on the sideline, adjust their schemes, maybe their personnel groupings and formations, try to find a new way to attack because right now, this isn't working.
So here comes the first play of the drive. They'll begin from their 47. They'll try to pick up the yardage on the ground. Breaks loose at the 40. Breaks clear. End zone ahead. He could not stop him. He's in. Touchdown, Penn State.
What a long run for a touchdown. I don't know if this defense was caught sleeping or walking in mud. I can't pick which one. Maybe it's both because the running back just went right by them so easily for the big gain and a big-time score.
Kickoff team has come on the field now to send this one away. And it comes out to the 25. No return attempted there. And the Sooners offense is back on the field. Let's see how this quarterback responds. Remember, an interception on the very first play of the last possession. That's a design quarterback keeper. That's a solid gain, moves the ball to the 29. And the Sooners hustle to the line to run the hurry up. Back to throw. It's Hawkins. Quick throw to the left side. And he throws his third interception of the day. He's got some room and some blockers here. And he steps out of bounds after a great return. What a pick. Sets up the offense in great position.
Boy, Chris, he hesitated just enough to give the defense a chance to get in position and come up with a big turnover.
And the Penn State offense is back out on the field. It didn't take long to reach the end zone last time. A perfectly blocked running play. Can they keep it going here? Got a lane. Can he get in? And he gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
I think we're starting to kind of see a theme here, Chris, today. That's his second touchdown. The offensive line doing their job, and he's doing an outstanding job of just reading the defense, finding the hole, and being able to pick up big yards and touchdowns.
Extra point is good. Now it's a 4-touchdown lead, 35-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. So no return here. He takes him in the end zone, and they'll begin the drive at the 25. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. And from the shotgun, an inside handoff. The gain is 3. Now it's second down and 7.
It's exactly what you want to see as a play caller. You get positive yards to be able to kind of keep you on schedule as a play caller. That's all you can ask for. Good job up front and a nice run.
Takes the snap and takes off on the run. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain. So it's third and long from the 29. Defense figures to bring pressure here. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. He'll take a deep shot here. Wow, that is interception number 4 today for this QB. And that's a solid return after the interception.
Chris, that is back-to-back drives right now for this quarterback and this offense. Nothing seems to be going right. The defense is doing a good job at confusing the quarterback, who's obviously throwing the ball into coverage. They've got to make some adjustments with their attack because right now it's not working.
Short pass finds the tight end. He's taken down, but that's a nice gain. They'll start the ball now at the 35.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get it to the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
Ready?
First down and 10 now. And now they'll run it on the draw. And he's stopped after gaining 4 yards. So 2nd and 6.
Nice solid run here by this back. Did a nice job of just kind of finding that lane, pick up some positive yards there on 1st and 10.
A gain makes it 2nd and medium. Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
There you go, defense. Listen, it's not been a great day for these guys, but this time they stepped up and took out some of that frustration. Nice play.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this 3rd down. Grab near the sticks. It's Brown. And he's brought down, but he does have enough for the 1st down.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on 3rd down, get him the ball.
They'll try to run it in on 1st and goal. Couldn't quite get there, brought down at the 2. And Nittany Lions come to the line looking to crank up the tempo. Second down, we're going to throw it. Escape. He'll make it into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. That's why he's a dangerous scrambler. The quarterback says, I'm just going to end this scoring drive right here. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, and everybody's covered downfield. The defense has done a pretty good job of containing the offense. The problem is this guy's creativity. I don't know, maybe put a spy, a linebacker on him to try to mirror him when he takes off to scramble.
And he'll just take a knee. Drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the Sooners offense is back out on the field. Let's see what they do here in the final minute of the half. Try to get aggressive and cut into this lead or play it safe. Tackle behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Chris, I think we all kind of get caught up in 3rd down. What's an offense doing on 3rd down? But I think what's also important is how well you defend 1st down. If you can hold your opponents to a short gain or a tackle for a loss, you throw the offense out of whack, and their game plan gets much more challenging to try to come up with that 1st down.
A timeout is called. Important stage late here in the 2nd quarter. Offense breaks the huddle and gets set. It's 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Hawkins. Quarterback escapes the pocket. And he'll head out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for a 1st down.
Boy, this defense, everything you want from them they do here except contain the quarterback. Nobody's open downfield. They pressure the quarterback. The only problem is they can't keep him short of the 1st down marker.
And that senior toughness on display as he keeps the drive moving himself. So a timeout is called to talk strategy. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays before halftime. So the offense looking to be efficient here. Not much time remaining before the end of the half. No press here. The defense backing away. Running out of time in the pocket. And the senior making a disruptive impact play. Minutes going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
46, Oklahoma.
And the Nittany Lions will kick this away to get the second half going. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So a touchback. They'll start at the 25. Okay, so here comes the Oklahoma offense back on the field. First play of the second half, they keep it on the ground. And tackled after a small pickup there.
Hat on a hat up front. Good job opening up the holes. Anytime you can get positive yards on first down, that's a win.
Second down play coming up for this offense. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Receiver makes the grab. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down.
The slant is a great way to get the ball to your receiver against man coverage, especially if you feel like you've got an advantage on the matchup. Easy throw and completion for the quarterback and receiver.
And looking to throw now on first down. Makes a quick catch.
You know, they don't pick up the first down here, but they do get some positive yards, and I really like the route to get enough separation to give the quarterback enough room to put it in there.
Getting set. Here's second down. And he drops back in the gun. Quarterback leaves the pocket on the move now. Oh, a sack. The senior on this defense making a big play.
Well, that takes the wind right out of your sails. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressure and a sack against their quarterback.
Fighting off the defender. Only a short gain in that one. Defense able to pen him in. Crucial play. Down double digits in the second half. They're going to go for it on fourth down. Press coverage now from the secondary. Trying for a fourth down completion. Contact as he let the ball go. The pass ball is incomplete. A big fourth down stop for this defense.
Chris, I like the call here going for it on fourth down, but the receiver has got to do a better job of knowing exactly where that first down marker is and run that route a yard or two beyond the sticks to be able to give yourself a chance to pick up the first down. Instead, the defense comes up with a stop and they get the ball back.
Look at the speed there. They finally bring him down, but it's a nice gain.
This guy's been such a big factor in this game. Already a couple touchdowns. Now they need the first down. They dial him up again, and he delivers.
He hands it off from the gun. And he's able to find some running room. Nice pickup. So here comes second down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. Quarterback looking to pass here on second down. Looking to scramble. He'll try a pass here. And it's picked off over there. What a play. Not much on the return, but they snuff out the drive with the takeaway.
Boy, this defense did exactly what they needed to do. Come up with a turnover here in the second half to get themselves back in the game. They get the interception. Now, can their offense come up with a way to cut into this lead?
And the Oklahoma offense is back on the field. That last possession, they got stopped on fourth down in their own end. Let's see if they can get it going this time. Fights through a tackle. They get him to the ground about the 18-yard line.
I'll take that every single time. Offensive line does a nice job up front. This back's vision and ability to get positive yards by lowering his pads on full display right there.
Scanning the field, it's Hawkins. He's looking deep here. Deep ball is caught for a huge gain here. Potentially a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a long completion.
What a big play here by the quarterback and the receiver. By having an opportunity to make that big play, now they have a chance to put the ball in the end zone.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. And it's the senior getting home with the sack. And this defense, reeling after giving up that big play, responds immediately with a sack.
Yeah, on the previous play, the offensive line did their job. They held up. Nice job in pass protection to give the quarterback time to make the throw. The very next play, the defense has had enough. This time, they win the battle up front and get to that quarterback and come up with that sack.
The Sooners hustle to the line to crank up the tempo. Lets it go quickly. And that is interception number 5 as the nightmare performance continues.
He didn't really seem to feel like he had anybody open. He just puts it up in the air, and the defense says, thank you, we'll take it.
And the Penn State offense comes back on the field. That costly red zone interception the last time out. Let's see if they can recover from that error. And they hit him just as he releases the ball. It's incomplete.
Never underestimate a defensive lineman's ability to play the passing lanes. Smart defensive linemen keep an eye on the quarterback, and if they see the ball coming out, they're able to get those big, long arms up and try to get a piece of it.
So after the incompletion, it's 2nd down. Quarterback making adjustments down to what the defense is showing. Looking to pass here on 2nd down. He's got it for a big gain. They bring him down, but not before an explosive play from this offense through the air.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
From the shotgun, it's a handoff. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
Boy, another nice game by this back. He has had a beautiful day today running the football, just kind of in that zone, and a big reason why they have a nice lead today.
The Nittany Lions line up on 1st and 10 now. Here's the snap, looking to throw here. Pulls it in. It's Smith. And the defense swarms, not much of a gain on that completion. Pass complete. It's 2nd down now. They'll run it from the gun. Tackle made, but there's a flag down on the field. That one hurt. Yards.
Ready?
What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense?
Check. Ready.
Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires.
The end of the 3rd quarter of play with the score. Penn State 42, Oklahoma 7.
A big play here after the break. Offense trying to convert here on 3rd down. They'll test the right side here. Defense able to stop him. It's 4th down now.
Picks up the 6. Now, a 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit. This will be an attempt from 52 yards. Let's see if he's got the distance. And now the offense will call a timeout. Something the coach didn't like about this. Crucial play coming up. Well, they're going to go for it, try to keep the drive going. 4th down and 7. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. Makes the catch, and the offense will keep this drive going. They make the tackle, but he easily gets first down yardage, and the drive keeps going. The Nittany Lions will line up here on first down and goal. From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. Makes the catch. Can he get in? He'll be stopped short a couple yards from the goal line.
And they get some positive yards here, but just from sitting up here looking down, Chris, you kind of have a sense that they wanted a little bit more on that play.
Applying for the touchdown on the right side. And tackled there by the defense. And the Nittany Lions will hustle to the line here to run the hurry up. On the ground, trying to punch it in for the score. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. To stretch the lead, the route is on.
Chris, you talk about having a day. This offense just goes out. They're not even looking at the scoreboard. They're just going out, executing the play call, and continuing to put points on the board.
Point after, knocking right through. Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. He thought about returning it, but instead takes a knee. It'll be a touchback, and they'll start at the 25. And the Sooners offense is back on the field. They had some good things going in the last drive, but it ended suddenly with the pick. Let's see what they can do here. Well, they test the middle there, but get nothing.
Chris, overall, it's been a tough day for this offense, but especially for this running back, just not able to find any kind of traction at all. And it's made this offense somewhat one-dimensional, and a large reason they're trailing in the fourth quarter.
And they'll move the 6 on that one. It's a first down at the 42.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where in the heck was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping that to himself, thinking, all right, maybe this is something to build on. Maybe something positive can come out of this. You're going to have some bad games from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready in the future. But that right there, man, that's what they've been looking for all game.
Big play across midfield. They'll spot it near the 36. Well, the big fellow's Kirk flowing to the right there. The defense just has no answer. It's a huge gain.
Yeah, and what a patience there by the running back, just allowing those blocks to be set up there off to the right, and then once he saw the crease in the defense, accelerates through that hole to show you what kind of speed he has for a big gain and a first down.
Breaks one tackle, gets brought down, but picks up some decent yardage.
Great job by the offensive line here, opening up some holes and giving the running back room to run on first down. Plays like this can open up the playbook for the play caller, allow him to make that defense think, are they going to run? Maybe play action, maybe throw the ball downfield.
Back to pass. It's Hawkins. Receiver makes the catch, and he picks up the first down before they get him to the ground. The clock is still running. They got to get set quickly.
First down for the offense.
Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. That pass is caught. Brought down, but the completion moves the ball to the 6. Defense getting pushed back. And the defense will spend their second timeout here to make some adjustments. That's a new set of downs, and it's first and goal for the offense. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. And they try the middle, but stuck for no gain. The Sooners hustle to the line to run that hurry up. Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. And the pass rush has trapped him. It's a sack.
It is a sack party out there for this defense. Everything going their way. You know that this offense is going to try to throw the football down by such a big margin late in the game. And this defensive line is bringing the heat. They come up with another sack.
And the offense facing a third and goal from a long way away. They'll run it to the right side. Ball carrier tackled there.
Chris, as this clock winds down, it has been a rough day for this offense. Just unable to get anything going. You hope they're able to go back, look at the film, try to learn from the mistakes, and come out the next week looking much better than they did today.
And the quarterback drops back looking for an open man. But it's incomplete. A fourth down stop. Turnover on downs.
Well, that'll do it, Chris. This defense has played well the entire game. It's very fitting here on this fourth down play in the fourth quarter. Under 2 minutes to go. They step up again. Give them the game ball.
Tough running to avoid a loss and just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Chris, you know me. I love to see defensive backs and especially corners that are willing to come up and get physical against the run game. What a job of making that play in space. No gain because of the play of that corner.
The tackle is made, the clock runs out, and that will do it. Well, this one ended up being a blowout. They get the W, but they also make a pretty strong statement here today.
Yeah, I thought this game would be a lot closer, at least closer than how things ended up. But give credit to this team for coming out with a good game plan and just dominating the game.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.